Hello, freak bitches. It's me, Mike Racine, and I'm back. I'm back after another little hiatus. Hiatus number 2. Um, yeah, I'm here, and I am. Well, so I do want to first of all, I do want to plug the Patreon up top. I know I haven't done a regular episode in a couple weeks, but I am doing a show every day on Patreon. And to be honest, I kind of don't really want to do shows for you guys because you don't pay any money for this, and I have people who pay money. So when I do this show every week for free, I'm just full of a lot of bitterness and resentment towards all of you who aren't paying for the show. Because I have a very demanding wife and dogs that need, premium dog food. So I guess I would just say, if you can, kick me a couple bucks on Patreon. Sign up. Very easy to sign up. This is the only in the close to 3 years I've been doing the show. I don't think we've run like 3 ads. Should be running more. Should be doing an ad every week, but I'm not. I'm not, because I want you guys to have an ad-free show. But I will plug my Patreon. Please, Patreon, shoot me a little Patreon subscribe on Patreon. If you want to do a one-time donation, which if that's the case, I totally get it. I know for me, any kind of new type of technology, I don't like to use. I hate it. I hate any kind of new technology. I don't want to download a new app. I don't want to update any apps. Everything's working. You know what I mean? Everything in my life is working just fine, okay? And I don't want to update my software, and I certainly don't want to give out any more emails and passwords. I totally understand, but if you have Venmo, shoot me, give me $5 on Venmo. Now, I know I've been MIA. I've been MIA for a couple weeks, and I'm already asking you for money, which is you got to admit that in and of itself is good comedy, you know? Hey, the show that you used to listen to, well, now I do the show whenever I fucking feel like it, but why don't you give me, that would be like if your dad showed up after a couple years. And look who's awake. That would be like if your dad abandoned you and then he showed up after a couple years and he was like, I'm going to need like $20 from you. But I am going to ask you for some money because I'm doing a lot of moving work. That's part of the reason why I haven't been really doing the show. I'm running my own little moving company. I'm running my own business. It's cool. It's rewarding. It's all the things, but it's killing my body. I don't know how many years I have left of this, so if you don't mind, kick me a couple bucks on Patreon or on Venmo. All right. Now here's the show. The other thing that I want to update you guys about is I am in the process of sort of rebranding the show. I'm looking for a new logo. I had someone do a new logo. I wasn't thrilled with it. I have my brother's girlfriend, Jama, doing the logo. She's drawing it. She came highly recommended by my brother Steve, who you might know from the show. So Steve very highly recommended Jama to do the new logo for the show. I chatted with her. I was like, this is what I want. I think it's a good idea. I can picture the thing in my, like, what I'm picturing in my head is a good idea. And it's been tough to find anyone to execute it the way that I want. So hopefully Jama, well, you're going to have to see Jama's logo because I can't, if she fucks it up, I can't not use it. I have to use it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll use it for, like, if it sucks, which she is a talented artist though. But if it sucks, what I'll do is I'll use it for like a year and then I'll switch it. You know, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway. Oh, you know what we could do? That drawing that we got in Asheville, I could reach out to that artist. Maybe they'll do like a logo for me.
That's a good idea.
Why didn't I think of that before?
I don't know, but you thought of it now.
Yeah. There she is, folks. Just woke up from a nap. Not sure if she's on the cranky side or if she's happy. But Deb is here.
Oh, like I'm so scary.
What? Yeah, honey, I'm working.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. So today's show, I'm gonna talk a little bit. There's an old. I like revisiting like recent history. You know, I like going back to maybe like 2016. 2016 is a good year to go back to, but then also I like taking a look at like the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, because I think that's the first memories that I have, I think, are probably from, I would imagine, from 1990 to 1993. And then I also like looking back at, I like looking at the early 90s, the early 2000s, when I first started. What? I need you to go away. That's not working. I can't have you puttering around the house while I'm doing my show.
Okay.
What a fucking nightmare. I got to build a studio. I had a studio and she took it away. I had a nice little studio at our old apartment and she said, I don't like it here. I think what happened was Deb saw me spending too much time in my studio enjoying myself and she was like, I can't have this. We need to move to a apartment with one less bedroom. Because I don't like what he's doing in there. It seems like he's being productive and having fun, and I can't have that. Right, fellas? Anyway, Deb and I finished the documentary Storm Over Brooklyn last night. So if you remember, I did an episode a couple weeks ago about the Yusuf Hawkins shooting. This was before I watched the documentary that is now out on HBO. And I kind of wish that I did the episode after I saw the documentary because there's a lot of information in that documentary. I mean, they interview, Yusuf Hawkins' family, and they show a lot of footage, and they interview Al Sharpton. And I have to say that Fat Al Sharpton is maybe the funniest. Just footage of Al Sharpton with his perm and his tracksuit waddling around is so fucking funny. I don't know why I was conditioned to dislike Al Sharpton. I don't know why my parents were like, he's a fucking... I mean, I know why. I know why my parents felt that way about Al Sharpton, but... when you watch this documentary, it's like... He had already... The Yusuf Hawkins shooting was after the Tawana Brawley case, which I don't know much about, but from what I understand, he sort of like Reverend Al kind of had sort of an egg on his face from that whole ordeal because Tawana Brawley allegedly lied about being raped and assaulted by a cop. I don't know the details of the story. Maybe I should look into it, but from what I understand, I think Reverend Al was kind of the one leading the charge and being like, if she was a white girl, there would be justice, and people cheer, obviously, but you do have to think about what people are feeling and what they've experienced and what they've gone through. But so Reverend Al also kind of led the charge on this particular incident, and so the family, so Yusuf Hawkins was killed in Bensonhurst by some fucking Dagos, by some fucking some animal Italian kids. They shot Yusuf Hawkins. His father was this guy named, I think his name was Moses Stewart. He didn't have his father's last name because his father wasn't really around. When he was a kid, I think his father took off at one. His mother had 3 boys, and his father kind of took off. Now, it's easy to make some hacky jokes about the father not being around, but until what?
I said, call me if you need me.
Oh, thanks. I'm not a lip reader. But until you know what people go through, it's you know, I don't really like those jokes. And it's not because I'm turned into some liberal or anything. It's just I think as you learn more about the world, your taste sort of evolves, and you can't stay in the same you can't stay in the same box your whole career. So anyway, he went to Al Sharpton. Moses Stewart, Yusuf Hawkins' father, went to Al Sharpton, said, "I want you to sort of like take this on." And Al Sharpton said, "Well, are you sure? Because I fucked up that Tawana Brawley thing pretty bad. Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me." And I think Moses Stewart was like, "Yeah, but that's why I want you to take this on. That's why I want." So Reverend Al did kind of lead the charge through those marches in Bensonhurst, or he was sort of like a central figure. Now, I think what happens is there's certain personalities when you look at mass movements. I went to a George Floyd protest, a couple months ago, and I definitely didn't have the urge to be like, look at this is about me, like cool, I'm gonna do something. But you do see that with certain people. There's a certain, like, I think most people, when they're involved in some sort of mass movement, whatever, they're sort of like, someone's screaming outside. That's a bummer. I hope this guy figures it out. Anyway, I live on a kind of a noisy block. But when you look at these movements, it does seem like there's not like an ego thing. There's sort of a you feel sort of a humility. You kind of feel this humility, and you feel like a sense of apprehension to sort of make it about you or anything. But I think the people who end up ascending to any sort of powerful position are people like Reverend Al, who have that kind of personality. I just killed a mosquito. Yeah, they're the people who have that kind of personality. So anyway, I just want to say that this documentary is worth it just for the clips of Fat Al Sharpton. It's great. He's wearing tracksuits. He's got a perm. He's waddling around. And, yeah. Anyway, what else? Another thing I want to talk about was there were marches in Brooklyn sort of day after day because people knew that the people who killed Yusuf it was known who did it, but no one was giving them up. So they marched day after day, and what ended up happening was a lot of the businesses, legal and illegal, were not able to make money. So there was a meeting that was headed up by Sammy the Bull Gravano from the Gambino family, underboss of the Gambino family, John Gotti's underboss. And Sammy the Bull was essentially like, who did it? Who did it? Because we got to give him up. Which I think is very funny. It's like you never snitch, but also I am running a whorehouse on 87th Avenue and oh shit, no, there's no 87th. I'm running a whorehouse on 15th Avenue. Man, you guys are gonna think I'm some kind of fraud or something. Anyway, yeah, I'm running a fucking. I'm trying to sell pornography videos over here, and there's a bunch of black people marching every day. No, the customers can't buy pornography. Was it you? I'm going to need you to snitch. I'm going to need you to snitch right now. Please let us know. So that's what happened, and the kid got given up. The kid who shot Yusuf Hawkins, he still denies it. Fired 4 shots. Young kid, but he's about to get out of. But it's weird because they interviewed. I don't know when they made this documentary, but they interviewed the guy who shot him, and he's like vehemently maintaining his innocence. And he's like, yeah, it wasn't me. And it's like your 32-year prison sentence is about to be over. I don't know what you're trying to. I don't know what you're trying to do, but maybe because he's told that lie for 30 years, he's got to sort of maintain it. I don't know. It's very weird. All right. So today's episode, the bulk of it, I think I want to make it, I want it to be about Amazon and some of their business practices. And, as we know, recently they just hired, they just put a job listing out for, basically, an intelligence analyst and a senior intelligence analyst. And they want, this person's job would be to essentially spy on any kind of union organizing or any sort of organizing activity. So we're going to take a little look at the past, maybe from a few years ago. There was a Daily Beast article that we're going to get into, and we're just going to look at some of their practices and some of their incidents, and and I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll get into it. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we're back, and we're joined by a very special guest. It's awake from her nap. It's Deborah Brooks.
Hello, everyone.
My future wife. 16 days.
Yeah.
She'll be my wife.
I'm even changing my last name. That's what I
I
told
didn't know
the
you.
city
I
clerk
didn't
today.
realize you were going to do that.
I had some remorse after. I think my name sounds better than yours.
Yeah.
It's just
You don't
objectively
have to,
a better name.
Insult
You don't
me.
have to tell me what to. Oh,
You don't have to insult my name.
it's a fine name. I'm gonna take it.
Do whatever you want.
But I don't want our children to not have the same name as me. So that is why I will change it.
Yeah. Okay.
I will sacrifice my perfect name for our future children. But I think professionally I'll just still go by Deborah Brooks. But at school I'll be like Mrs. Racine.
You will. But professionally, all right. Well, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Before we keep
you
going,
don't want, you want your kids to have the same name as you.
Yes.
Well, our kids can be Brooks.
Are you gonna change your name to Michael Brooks?
I'm gonna end up taking off at some point anyway. Just kidding.
Yeah, good luck.
To Michael Brooks. Maybe I will change my name to Michael Brooks.
I think you'll lose every fan you ever had.
Maybe I'll change my name to Michael Brooks, and then I'll call my show the Michael Brooks Show, and then people will be like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
I wanted communism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get into today's topic, I'm new to Twitter. Not really. I joined in 2009. I just never got into it. I just want to address at Breast69 on your Twitter. You posted some pictures of me, and he said, "Is that the one broad that made you buy the expensive dog?" I just want to put it out there that making Mike Racine do anything is an impossible feat.
Thanks. And it's going to stay that way.
You're wrong, dude. And he's obsessed with the dog, so you don't know what you're talking about. I wish I had the control of making Mike spend $3,000 in one shot. He did that on his own volition.
No, I did say if I didn't like the dog, I was going to leave you.
Yeah, but where are you in today's, like, what's your preference at?
I love the dog, and I'm not going to leave you. And I love you. And
if we were ever to become separated, what's the worst thing that could probably happen to you?
Probably losing the dog. But I wouldn't. I would hire goons to come in the house and take him in the middle. And I know that you're, I would have to hire multiple goons, but
yeah, they'd have several failed attempts. You'd probably go through $3,000 before.
Yeah, but he's priceless.
He's actually worth $3,060, I think, at this rate,
Why?
because he ate that much money.
Oh, yeah, but a dog's value depreciates. The puppy is what we spend a lot of money for.
Uh-huh.
All
But
right.
you like him better now.
He's better as a dog than he was as a puppy, for sure.
But yeah, I missed
All right.
that little roly-poly-oly Frankie Wrinkles. Frankie
Okay.
Wrinkles
All
on
right.
Instagram.
Well, this is not a girl podcast. This is a boy podcast. So
All
we
right.
talk about things that are important.
All right, let's talk about it. What is it?
What's
on the docket for today?
Well, I do want to talk about Jeff Bezos' Instagram for a second.
Oh, should I pull it up?
If you want, yeah, I know what I'm going to say already, but I was just looking at it like a few minutes ago, and his Instagram is very funny because he'll have these posts where he's like, "Hey, look at me! This is me and my mom. Here's me and my dad sharing a couple laughs. Here's me giving my dog. My dog needs a bath." And it's just like, what? You're not even. There's this weird
You didn't say God bless you.
God bless you.
Okay.
There's this weird sort of like I guess nowadays when you're a rich person, you have to, or maybe people were always like this, but you have to feign like accessibility and like relatability. And you have to be like, oh, this is just, hey, look, I'm just like you. You know, there's also
you
a
had
video.
a similar complaint about the Facebook guy.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Oh, because he just wears gray T-shirts.
Well, when he tried to introduce Instagram, Facebook Live, and he was grilling.
Oh yeah, and he's making meat on like the most expensive barbecue you can buy.
Yeah.
But he was trying to be like relatable and be like, I'm just out in my backyard making ribs like all of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know why. I almost have more respect for Instagram celebrities who like flaunt their wealth in their rented houses and their cars that they borrowed and their,
Yeah.
and their like baby tiger
here
or
he is.
whatever.
So Jeff Bezos giving his dog his bath.
Yeah.
His dad came to visit him in Cuba.
But what's really funny is if you look at the comments, there's like, it's just it's either people being like, "Wow, good job, Jeff," like congratulating him, or it's like there's not much of a distance between him and regular people.
People are like, "Please give me $3." Hi, Jeff.
People are
Please
like-
look at the message I sent you.
No, there's a guy who comments on every post, and he's like, I'm not sure if you see my message, but please, I'm trying to get in touch with you. This is my phone number. Please help me out. It's just people asking him for money.
Yeah. Why
Which
did
is,
he
like,
disable
hilarious.
comments?
Because he wants to be like accessible and relatable. And I
Ah.
guess somebody gave him that advice that said like, I mean, if that was my company, I would be like, this is my house. I don't give a fuck about any of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think people almost like relate to that more.
Right.
Because isn't the whole point of being rich so that you don't have to go through a lot of the drudgery of everyday life?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I want to be rich. So I don't have to like think about things like student loans or health insurance.
Yeah, I want a staff of illegals that I don't talk to that come to my house every day and do my,
Right.
Like I waste so much time every day just like doing my grocery shopping and mopping the floor and like taking the garbage out. I just want all that done for me, but I don't.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be removed from society it's like the richest guy in the world being like, hey, look at me, just made an omelet.
And here he
It's
is
very bizarre.
touring the
He's
warehouse.
touring the warehouse, and then he's also touring Whole Foods. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, we went to Whole Foods recently, and I think I pointed this out to you, but I'm sure you've noticed it. Like, the people who work at Whole Foods fucking hate you. I've never felt more hatred just seething off of people.
I don't know. The people at the grocery store closest to us hate us too.
Who?
The one that's on Broadway.
Which one on Broadway? Oh, Pioneer?
Yeah, that one. That word
we
I
don't
can't
even shop
say
there
right.
anymore.
I know, but every time I went in there, I just felt complete hatred.
Yeah, but that place is a little. Yeah, I mean that place sucks, but
But Whole Foods sucks in a different way.
that place was a shitty It was a shitty grocery store, but it wasn't the shittiest grocery store. Like it was okay.
Yeah, it had a parking lot.
It had a parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time I
Thanks,
was at the
Deb.
register, I just remember like wanting to apologize for existing.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you just ring me up quickly so I can get out of here and stop tormenting you?
All right, real quick. I've lived in this neighborhood for I lived here 6 years ago, and now I'm back in this neighborhood.
Right.
And the grocery stores aren't as like, can I use this word, ghetto as they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
a little nice. But anyway, but you know, but the thing with Whole Foods, but like that's to be expected at a grocery store in a shitty neighborhood where people don't like, especially if you're, you know, if you look like us, successful, beautiful,
Right.
holding these fucking Yeti $40 tumblers that we're both drinking out
Just
of.
drinking water from our Yetis all day.
Yeah, I mean we are cunts. We've turned into cunts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know how this has happened, but I feel like we've entered the middle class. I don't feel any better. I just feel a little more convenienced.
Yeah, and hydrated.
Like if $200 fell out of my wallet, I wouldn't care.
I would, but yeah. Well, you're crushing it right now. Well done, Michael.
Yeah, my back hurts though. But anyway,
Oh,
yeah, okay.
no.
Okay, fine. So but there was a picture on Jeff Bezos' Instagram one time, and I feel like I think about this photo maybe once a week.
Uh-huh.
And it was at the Super Bowl. Yeah, that photo.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
talk about this picture a lot.
That picture is like it fascinates me. This picture will never leave my brain.
Yeah. Does he look like Howie?
Because I remember we were at the Super Bowl. We were at a Super Bowl
Yeah.
party,
Mm-hmm.
and we were with some of our very close friends that we like very much.
Yes, it was a good party.
It was a good party. There was a lot of there was
It was
good.
before all this
There was
madness.
good. It was before all this madness, but there was good food there. But there was like good company there too.
Yes.
I don't know if was Ian Finance there?
No.
Maybe no, but Joyelle might have been there. People that we really Becky, people that we really like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andy Collin.
Yeah.
Jay, obviously, was his house.
Yeah, it was Chase House on 29th Street between.
Oh, my God. What are you doing?
I thought he moved.
I think so.
Okay.
But relax.
All right. So, but it was like I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun. It's rare that you go to a social event and there's people there that you like and you get along with. But so I was like looking through Instagram, and I guess Bezos posted. So he doesn't post that much on Instagram, but I guess he posted like a. Your phone's broken. I guess he
I
posted.
think I just got scared of you.
I guess he posted like a picture of him in his like Super Bowl box,
Yes.
and he's like, and the caption is, I just took a DNA test, and it turns out I'm 100% Lizzo Beatings. Oh, Lizzo. Oh, her name is Lizzo B Eating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought her Instagram handle was Lizzo Beating, but it's Lizzo. I just realized it's Lizzo B Eating.
Oh, that's good.
So she's like, look, I'm a fat bitch. She's like the John Panette of black women. She's like, eat whatever you want.
Yeah, you
turns
should.
out-
Everyone should eat whatever they want.
Turns out I'm Lizzo B Eating's biggest fan. Hashtag SBILV, which I guess or LIV. So LIV is the whatever Super Bowl number it is. But he's got this look on his face where he's like staring into the distance. She looks like she just ate everything in the box.
Michael.
I mean, no, but she literally looks like her handle is Lizzo B Eating.
Just because I'm on this show does not mean
She
that I
looks like
co-sign to
she doesn't
Mike's.
co-sign to any of my views, but she
yeah.
looks like
What is
she
that?
looks like
Fatophobia.
That's not fat phobia. I'm attacking a specific person.
Okay.
But it looks like there was maybe a line, and she like didn't cut the line, but she definitely, if there was like a plate of wings, it looks like she put like 20 wings on her plate so that everybody else had to wait for the next round of wings to come in.
Uh-huh.
They had to wait for Bezos to snap his fingers and get that tray filled up.
Right.
It's just this weird. It's this thing where like, yeah, she was probably rude to everybody. And it's this weird thing where it's like, okay, this is a guy, because you think, you go through life and you're just like, what do I want? What's important? Life is this constant, like, reminding yourself of, like, what do I really want? What's really important? Is it money? Is it career stuff? Is it family? Is it whatever? And everybody kind of figures out what they want, what's important to them, what they value.
Right.
And, I think for me, like, a lot of it is, I think like doing comedy and being good at what you do, like having the funniest, putting out work that I'm proud of and that I like.
Yes.
But it just you look at that photo and you're like, this guy like fucked up. He made himself the richest man in the world, one of the most powerful people, and he's just like this. He's like, yeah, this is okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
here with
heard
the
that you don't get happier after a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
It's just, you just accumulate.
But he's like, yeah, I'm here with this fucking pop star, and yeah, I'm supposed to be, because she's like the number one, or maybe at that time. I mean, I know, but there's not really. Life doesn't.
Doesn't he
exist
look like
as we know
Howie
it
Mandel?
anymore. Yeah.
Don't you
Great
think
point,
that the
Deb.
richest
Thanks.
guy in the world would have some hair? And does he shave his head because he likes to look like that?
Like,
or
what, you think he would get follicles or something?
yeah, man.
I
Or
guess.
some sort of like alien hair transplantation that works like.
Well, yeah, you can get follicles,
You
but
have
he's
all the
probably
money in
like
the world.
oh, I want to be. He probably wants to be relatable, and
He likes
and
having that head. I guess you can see here that he is bald on top.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that's what bald guys do. They shave their head.
Yeah, I have to go get this bad dog off of our bed because
Okay.
he's making noises.
All right. So Deb will be right back. So anyway, I'm gonna keep doing the show. Yeah, it's this weird. There's this weird thing where the guy doesn't seem happy. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to order. I went to REI because I needed because I have two bikes. I needed a cover for my bike. I went to REI. REI is like an employee-owned company. They had a bike cover for like $50. And I remember thinking, like, okay, $50, but I spent a lot of money today, and I think I can get this bike cover on Amazon for like $25 or $30. And I went home that night, and I did find a bike cover on Amazon for like, I think it was $35. Yeah, $35. And I ordered it around 10 p.m., and then the thing showed up at like 4 p.m.
Right,
the
so
next
you're
day.
part of the problem.
You order way more on Amazon than me. You stop. Don't go there. I order something on Amazon like once a month.
Yeah. I haven't, though. Have you noticed that I haven't ordered anything?
No, I haven't.
What are you talking about? I haven't ordered a thing.
Yeah?
The only thing that's coming in the mail soon is dog food,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm about to,
Why don't you get that from Chewy?
because they don't give you a discount for auto ship, I don't think. But I'm about to discontinue it anyway because these dogs don't eat dog food.
Right.
It's just wasting money.
Well, we could just get Amazon Fresh.
Well,
order groceries online.
I guess we should decrease this. But yeah, so Mike ordered the slaves to get him a double bicycle cover, and it came in less than 24 hours.
It came in less than 24 hours, and I was like, this. I was like, there's no way this is my bike, the bike cover that I ordered. And it's just like, I just got it, and I part of me was like, oh, this is awesome. Long live Jeff Bezos. But there's another part of you that goes like, this isn't right. Like, whatever had to happen to get this bike cover to my door in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, like, was it in a warehouse, or does Amazon partner with other companies and then, like, put their things for sale and then deliver you something
It does come from a warehouse.
So how do they organize this
No,
warehouse?
it all comes from a warehouse because it goes to
Here's
like.
the bike stuff. Here's the toothbrushes.
Right, I know.
Here's
Yeah.
the toilet paper.
Yeah. The DVDs are over here, and the video games are over here. I mean, they definitely have like some kind of like probably some kind of complex computer system that we can't even possibly understand.
Right. Well, we
Um,
were watching the news and it said computers can fire the employees without any sort of human supervision.
Yeah.
So that's insane.
That's kind of cool, though. You just yeah.
And there's heat maps to
You know,
make
but at
sure that
least-
nobody is going near each other.
Right. They track. And it's just like you brought up the thing about the grocery store earlier, but it's like when you go to Whole Foods, because I do kind of like shopping at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I just it's hard to find a grocery like it's hard to find a reliable grocery store especially in New York City.
Yeah.
But-
Do get a little you get distracted by the labels like a goldfish because remember you bought that beer.
What beer?
You bought a beer because you thought you were gonna like have a nice beer on the train ride home.
Yes, and it was
It
disgusting.
was like sour apple beer. You just
Yes, thanks, Deborah.
you didn't read it. You just liked the pictures on the can.
Well, because there were like 50 different types of beer. There were like 50 different types of beer, and I was like,
You're
let
like,
me
this
pick.
one looks like a graphic novel.
Because we were in line, and I was like, let me just pick the one with the prettiest can. I do that all the time when I have to buy
You
something. I always do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me pick the best design all the
Yeah.
time. You don't do that?
No, I am definitely a sucker for marketing.
All right. So without going on any more tangents, but I was gonna say you just get the sense in like when you go to Whole Foods that they just fucking that they hate you, that
Right.
they're mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Just some fat black gay guy is so pissed at you for pushing the wrong button in the self checkout, and he comes over with his keys and he goes. But I don't think you can really blame them. I mean, they're probably miserable and they're probably underpaid and treated like shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to deal with pretty bad people, liberals, New York liberals, rich New York liberals.
Right. I mean, the people that live in Williamsburg are probably the worst.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah,
girl
because
that
they're
hit on
pieces of
Robert
shit.
Dean when I was sitting right next to him? She was a Williamsburg girl.
Yeah.
She was like, "Are you straight? Are you single?
All right,
Do you
once
want my number?"
You're, okay. Yeah.
That's what the Williamsburg people are like. Like,
yeah.
ugh. I could have been dating him.
Who?
Robert Dean.
Why?
I was sitting right next to him.
Uh-huh.
And she just came up to him and said that.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, "Well, I'm blonde and rich, so like, do you want me instead?" Well, first she thought he liked men.
Yeah. Thank you for telling a story that no one was there for, and they have no frame of reference. All right, we got a lot to talk
Well,
about
that's
here.
a
So
whole story. Sorry, guys.
So anyway, so I found this article in the Daily Beast. This is from a few years ago. I think it was from maybe like 2018. But it says Amazon, founded by the now richest man in the world, has long faced criticism about working conditions at its warehouses. The high pressure pace, the stultifying boredom, the timed bathroom breaks, and the digital surveillance that monitors performance. Some employees told Daily Beast that they struggled with mental health issues before they began working for Amazon. Now, before they began working for Amazon, but they believed the exacting work environment made them worse. And in some cases, after they were put on leave, they said they struggled to obtain promised compensation, received counseling, they found insufficient or unaffordable, or were even fired.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon released a statement, and they said the physical and mental well-being of our associates is our top priority, and we are proud of both our efforts and overall success in this area, the statement said. We provide comprehensive medical care starting on day one, so employees have access to the care when they need it most. 24-hour-a-day free and confidential counseling services, and various leave and medical accommodation options covering both mental and physical health concerns.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is kind of funny because back in the day, if your workers were striking, you could just beat the shit out of them. You could just hire goons to beat the shit out of them.
Right.
So we are
Now
kind of
everything's
like
so like publicized.
everything's publicized in the news.
People
and
would
it's like,
know if you beat your employees.
right. It's like you could go into like a Kroger store and then you're walking your kids in and there's just guys in the mafia beating up striking workers.
And then if you were in Staten Island, people would be like, "Well, those people, they probably weren't doing their job. So like, what, you want to go to a store and then people aren't working?"
That mentality, it fucking disgusts me. Anytime there's an act of violence or injustice, that is a very Staten Island thing to be like,
Yeah.
well, it was it's fucking cowardly. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like it's
Well, what were
it's like
they
a very
doing?
right wing, right? But it's like a very right wing sort of like mentality to look at the world, and it's fucking lazy and it's cowardly.
Yeah.
And I feel like I kind of used to think that way, and I kind of used to feel like, oh, everything's fine, and any kind of injustice, there must be a reason for it.
Right.
But it's
Sometimes
harder-
though, when someone's catching a beating, I'm like, what did they like? When our neighbors upstairs were fighting in our old apartment, and I could hear them like beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I'm also positive that somebody cheated on the other person, and like maybe they deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Right.
I guess that is my mentality as well. Sometimes,
Yeah.
but not with employees. I don't
Yeah.
think you should beat your employees. Just in general, but you can beat someone if they cheated on you. I think you get a pass.
Sure.
Yeah.
So there was a guy, Nick Veasley, who started working at an Amazon warehouse. I'm not sure where, but he said that he was thrilled to land the $14.50 an hour job. The job was a big deal. He said it was good money and good benefits. I guess in the Midwest, it's easy. You can live off like, $14 an hour.
Mhm.
I did shows in Cincinnati a couple years ago, and I was talking to these guys before the show, and they were like, "Yeah, we work at the, if you want to, minimum wage here's like $7.25, and if you want to, if you want more money, you got to do something. Like if you want to make like $13 an hour, you have to do something more dangerous,
Like what? Work in a mine?
like work at some factory or something where they
Oh.
manufacture lava or something like that." I don't know. I just remember they were like,
lava on conveyor belts.
yeah, just lava on a conveyor belt. It's just you have to handle raccoons all day.
I
Like
have
the
a friend that works for Amazon
Raccoon wrangler.
in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and she just transitioned and said that the medical provided by Amazon paid for the whole transition surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But this also is a person who does always push the truth. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She also mentioned that she's a manager at Amazon, and you're supposed to time the employees, but
Yeah.
she always lies and gives everyone more time.
Oh, she does?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but
Well,
that's
that's the
still insane.
But I think so you're very like strictly monitored when you work there,
Mm-hmm.
and you're timed, and you're like if your bathroom breaks are timed,
Right.
and if you don't perform in the time that they want you to, you're like reprimanded, you're written up, and then like 3 write-ups is you
They
get fired.
count your steps, right?
They count your steps.
I have an app that keeps like aggressively telling me I don't have enough steps. So,
Uh-huh.
and that's aggravating me because like, how do you know I take my phone everywhere?
Yeah.
App.
Yeah.
So I can understand how as an employee that would drive me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a thing too where like I work very hard like doing moving,
Yeah.
but at least
Imagine they were like, you didn't do enough steps for that
Right.
4-story walk up too slow.
and I feel like probably moving is more like physically demanding than working at Amazon, but Amazon is more like tedious and it's more prolonged. And
Yeah.
if I'm working and I'm doing a 4th floor walk up or even a 3rd floor walk up which is like kind of strenuous,
Mm-hmm.
there's ways to pace yourself where you take breaks or you like, okay, I just carried something heavy, so now I'll go grab something light this time. It's like
Right.
there's ways to sort of like keep your pace up but not burn yourself out.
Right.
And you learn that over like after doing the job for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it's
would
like
look at all of that stuff and be like, why don't we just set it all on fire instead?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, you want me to do that?
if I had to be you
Yeah.
to like look at all the shit that somebody else owns, it's not even mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get like, I don't even feel any attachment to these things.
Yeah.
And then I have to like see it all, and then I have to like think about the journey from there to the truck. I'd be
Yeah.
like, you have an addiction to material
Yeah.
goods,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I would do you a favor by just burning all of this.
Right. Well, I'm a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's ways to pace yourself. But this is like, it's so. In this article, basically what's happening is there were like I think there were like 180 calls, 911 calls of like either suicide attempts at an Amazon warehouse or people having suicidal thoughts, and there's just people in these warehouses all day, and they're like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
I
Like,
wonder
I'm
if
gonna
there's
fucking
like one way that people keep trying to kill themselves, and then they're like, well, we've got to get rid of that machine.
like a vending machine.
Whatever it is, I don't know.
Someone just tried to tip over a vending machine and crush themselves with a vending machine. So then they're next day they were like, all right, guys, Good news. We've bolted the vending machines. We've bolted the vending machines to the walls. You can't even kill yourself.
Yeah, Bill Burr had a joke about that, about how like they're like working in corporate places is becoming like increasingly stressful, but like you can't kill yourself. Like like you'll try to jump off a balcony and a trampoline will ricochet you back into your chair.
Apple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just send you right back to work.
Ricochet is a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just send you right back to work.
it's like you try to jump to your death, but the trampoline just puts you right back in your chair.
In your cubicle. Yeah. Anyway, so this guy Nick Veasley was like, I should just kill myself. He felt like that was like his way out. I didn't copy and paste much about that, but there was also, I mean, there was a woman who died in an Amazon warehouse, I think in Queens. It might have been Queens, but they just like, she passed out on the floor, and instead of giving her any medical attention, from what I understand, the standards there are so stringent that they're like, no, everybody keep working, and she fucking died on the warehouse floor.
Oh my gosh.
There was another guy who died,
and that was
too.
before COVID, because now with
Yeah.
the COVID regulations, they can prevent workers from organizing by stating that they must maintain 6 feet of distance for health reasons. And they can use that to their advantage to prevent them from getting close to each other to like have conversations, exchange phone numbers, or try to unionize.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but what was their
And then this
excuse
says-
for not letting somebody? It was before.
They were like, everybody has to keep working.
Yeah.
Because it's so, they can't have their whole workforce like just stop.
My God.
So it's like this very sort of tightly controlled working environment. This right here says Amazon retrofit warehouses with air conditioning after a Pennsylvania newspaper reported in 2011 that temperatures at one facility would reach 100 degrees and that paramedics were stationed outside during heat waves. So it was cheaper for them, like their decision, because when you run a business, as I can tell you, I'm a business owner right now.
Right. And
Their
you
business
fill
decision-
coolers with bottles of water.
I fill coolers with bottles of water for my crew. I'm a very good boss. But I do have to say, and I don't know if maybe this is the time for this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel myself turning into a kind of a cunt.
Well, I think you've always been a cunt. You had it in you.
Uh-huh.
You might not have always like felt like you had the justification,
Yeah.
but you definitely had cunt potential.
But I want to be like a working man. I don't want to be the boss.
No? Why do you have that glimmer in your eye then every time?
I don't have a glimmer in my eye.
You do. Boss man.
I don't want to
Boss
run
man with the Yeti
I
cooler.
don't want to be a company. I don't want to run a company.
No?
No.
You're smiling.
No, I'm not.
Are you the CEO of Mike Moves?
You want me to be the fucking CEO of a moving company? Come on.
I don't mind it. I don't ever want you to give up comedy, but my mom had me track down these old friends of her on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do these people do? Why do they have this giant house and pool in Staten Island? The husband, he just owns a couple businesses, a couple dry cleaners, a liquor store, something. You know, I want to own a business too. I would like a pool with the dolphin spitting water into my pool. Maybe I don't need the dolphin, but I'd like the
You
pool.
want a dolphin spitting water in your
Not
pool.
necessarily, but like, you know.
You want like some gaudy, shitty, like Staten Island fucking mini mansion with lions outside.
I never felt the need for statues, but yeah, in-ground pool, not bad. I wouldn't mind that. I don't want to live on Staten Island, though, because I don't want Staten Island kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this says a workplace that asks a lot of employees but doesn't offer leeway in how they complete their tasks can be unhealthy. If you're doing something that is just too hard for you, you can't do it worried about your performance. That would be stressful, leading to mood disorders and anxiety disorders, says William Eaton, a professor at the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health.
What if it's just like Americans are lazy and everything is fine at Amazon, but
Why don't you go work there then?
no, I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure Jeff Bezos is pushing people to their limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can fucking give his dog a bath and hang out with Lizzo. I mean, that's like what he's done with his life. You know?
Yeah.
There's got to be, and I don't even want to be like, oh, fuck Jeff Bezos. because I don't think that's like a productive attitude, really.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you do have the power. Like, what if instead, because I think people get tricked into like what they want, and I think when you hang out with when you're around too many capitalists, you start to think there's this like mentality that like it's money over everything.
Right.
But what if you were the CEO?
Yes.
Or what he's the CEO, I guess, of Amazon. I don't know what
Whatever he is.
The owner.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's his company. What if instead of
No yawning in podcasting. You can.
it was just a small yawn.
Okay.
You're doing like a little shtick where you're trying to be annoying, and I don't. Hopefully, the listeners find it funny because I don't.
Okay.
But what if instead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting to fucking hang out with Lizzo, who was probably rude to you, you were the boss of this company that gave people jobs, gave people like well-paying jobs where they were happy and they all just loved you, and you were like this little, you were just like the king, you were the little king of the warehouse, and when you walked through the warehouse, you didn't have to like talk to people who you knew hated you.
Mm-hmm.
And they are gonna be like, oh, like that's a good job. 17 an hour is like a decent job. I guess if you work 10 hours a day, you can and you stretch your money, you can make that work.
Right.
But minimum wage should be like $30 an hour if it kept up with inflation and economic growth. So what if you had a company where like you people started at, $25 an hour and everybody there just loved you and you were just like the king of your little, and you were just like more beloved than fucking John Gotti.
Yeah, but I think like you mentioned,
isn't that better to know that like I provide a decent living for so many people? I don't fucking track their body heat and I don't make them piss themselves. People in Amazon warehouses piss themselves.
That's gross.
Wouldn't that be a better life though? You can go to bed at night and be like, people like me and I'm a pretty good guy.
But I think it matters about who you hang out with, like you mentioned before. So like I'm sure Jeff Bezos is friends with other CEOs and everyone's like, I've got a yacht, I've got this dog. And if he doesn't,
this dog.
I don't think. Yeah.
What's the most expensive dog? It's like a French bulldog.
I don't even know at this rate.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get a tri-colored Bernie Doodle. It's like $7,000.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
and that's
all right.
like not even a pedigree.
We can afford it, baby.
No, we're good. We have enough life in this apartment. My point is, if you are at that level, you're likely not caring about what goodness you're doing for other people.
Right.
He's probably friends with,
but he's probably
more
sad.
people like
I would
him.
imagine that he's not a very happy guy.
Or he's thrilled. Does that impact you?
He
Does it
doesn't
make
look
you feel
happy.
better thinking
I've
like
seen-
he's rich and unhappy?
I don't think he's happy.
He might be thrilled. I mean, he has no.
No, there isn't. No, but he might be. But let's look at. But like, he's not.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if you can.
All right, so let me share this story before, and then we'll wrap up. So. There was another guy that worked at Amazon. His name was Jonathan Forrest. And this article said, like Nick Veasley, Jonathan Forrest was elated when Amazon offered him a job in the same warehouse. He had a Facebook post that said, half nervous but mostly excited to start a new journey in life. Forrest, then 36, posted on Facebook in the fall of 2016. So the guy was 20. So now this guy, I'm pretty sure this guy has like autism or something. He's something about these posts makes me feel like
you did the DSM-5 on him in the post.
What's that?
The diagnostic criteria to determine whether or not
it
somebody
just
has
feels
any
like
disorder.
this guy. It just feels like this guy's not all there.
And
if he doesn't have any kind of like, if he's not diagnosed with any kind of learning disability or autism or whatever,
this
isn't somebody. No, but this isn't somebody that you should be like taking advantage of.
Okay.
He seems like an easy person to take advantage of, which is not an excuse to take advantage of somebody.
Right.
But so It says he was a picker charged with putting items in bins. The board at Amazon showed. So he had another Facebook post. The board at Amazon showed the top 10 pickers of my shift, and we fell and of well over 100 pickers, I ranked number 8. He wrote on Facebook a few weeks after he began. At least there's one thing to make me feel proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this is weird because
Well, it sounds
36-year-old
like he's
men,
fishing there. Did people comment like, "There's a lot for you to be proud of. Look at that smile.
maybe, but like 36.
Look at your
but-
collection of action figures. No one's got as many trains as you."
Right, but you see what I'm saying? Like that, like some of like you don't talk. A 36-year-old man doesn't talk like this unless he's got like some kind of something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's another post. I would like so I don't want to like just dismiss this guy and be like, oh, this guy's a sucker.
Wait, what happened to this guy? Are you gonna like trick me into making fun of him, and then you're gonna give me some tragic story?
Do you want me to give you the end of the story?
Well, I'm not gonna talk until you say, yeah. What else happened?
All right. Here's another Facebook post of his. I would like to thank one of the world's richest men, multi-billionaire Jeff Bezos, for this opportunity to win this overly generous dollar. Now maybe he's fucking with them. I don't know. To win this overly generous dollar vending machine coupon to use in the Amazon cafeteria as a reward for my hard work today, Forrest posted in late January 2017. I'm confident that the free Snickers bar I consume tomorrow will help further compel me to keep being the best picker that I can be! Exclamation point.
Okay, that sounds like a joke. No.
That sounds like maybe he's fucking around. I don't know. But then it said that he was working at Amazon to pay off his debt from veterinary school.
Oh.
So he like went to veterinary school. So I don't know what.
That's like the hardest thing to get into.
Is it?
Yeah, it's easier to be a doctor in the United States than it is to be a vet.
Yes. It says Forrest returned to work after about a month, but his father said, but on October 28th, he made another suicidal comment at work. This time on Amazon, an Amazon employee called the police. Jonathan stated that he has had thoughts of suicide or self-harm for several years, and that the thoughts have been escalating in recent weeks, a police report said. Jonathan stated that he has attempted suicide in the past, and that if he ever did commit suicide, it would be a spur-of-the-moment event, the report added. Butch Forrest and Sanford, I don't know who Sanford is, maybe that's his friend, confirmed that Jonathan had attempted suicide before. Forrest was taken to the hospital for evaluation, and Amazon allowed him to return to work. In the last weeks of 2017, Forrest's mental health deteriorated again. It seemed like the spark died out in him, Sanford said. He didn't do much towards the end except work. It was pretty much all he had to talk about. So this guy he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Okay.
He had some sort of mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Him working at Amazon wasn't the only thing.
Right. It wasn't the only
that-
contributing
It
factor.
wasn't the only contributing factor, but he did have some other posts where, like, he said, now there's something else that I forgot to copy and paste, and I wish I did, because let me find,
So he committed suicide?
yeah,
That's
he
awful.
shot himself.
Oh my goodness. At Amazon?
No,
Okay.
but he did it, yeah, somewhere. So I want to find this thing because apparently okay, so here it is. In April, he posted. Now, we all know what it's like to be working too much. I kind of had that last week where it's like you feel like I was waking up in the morning, leaving. I was doing multiple jobs in a day. I was getting home very late.
Yeah. You'd be happy until like 10 hours, and then after that mark, you turned into a werewolf.
Okay. But we've all had those days where it's like, shit, I'm working so much, I don't even have any time to myself to like even unwind or have a beer or something. I just have to go right to sleep and go to work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Like how Chinese people live. So I know that feeling where it's like I'm just so I don't even give a shit about money.
Yeah.
I'm just so desperate for some time off.
Yeah.
So in April 2017, he posted, after this next week is over, I will have worked 280 hours in 5 weeks. I am ready to stop, take some time off to enjoy myself and not work so much. What does my work do? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Mandatory fucking overtime! Exclamation point. Seriously? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I am so pissed off right now. It ended with this plea. Leave me alone, Amazon. And then Donnie Sanford is his friend who said he was going to a dark place.
Were people
and
commenting on these
since
posts?
Deborah can't wait for the story, and she's got to
Sorry.
know what happened at the end. On January 2nd, 2018, Sanford received a text message from Forrest. Just remember that I love you. Around the same time, while sitting down to brunch at a diner, Butch and Jane Forrest received a call from their son, Brian, who told them Jonathan had just posted a suicide note on Facebook. It said, sorry, y'all. It was inevitably going to happen anyways. I just fired a pistol through the back of my head. Love you all. Butch Forrest says his son was struggling on many levels, but he believes his work at Amazon was a major factor in his suicide. When it came to holidays, it would be 5 days in a row. He said it killed him. I don't know what that meant. If he worked,
Like for holidays, he had to work 5 days in a row.
Yeah,
So he like didn't get to do holidays with his family or anything.
that's what it sounds like.
My goodness.
Yeah, it killed him. In his statement, because holidays are like when you're working a lot,
Yeah.
you do want to have. Because I remember when I worked at Got Junk, they were like, you guys can have Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
So I took Christmas Eve off because that's like my family's.
Yeah.
But imagine working
And you
like
hate New Year's Eve.
I fucking hate New Year's Eve. I'm happy to work.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to work on New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
But imagine like having to work like the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th,
Yeah.
23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. That's like, I mean, that's like the best time of the year when you can just kind of like
Right.
the days before Christmas and the couple days after Christmas are
Yeah,
are
and I
great.
think that
There's, like, nothing,
holidays
you know?
make you feel better, as long as like you have the right situation. I mean, sometimes it can make you
Yeah.
feel worse, but
Yeah.
when you're working a lot, you get stuck and wrapped up in it, and then you do a holiday, and you're like, oh, turkey.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
life's not so bad.
Right. And then Amazon released a statement, and they said, "It's a very sad situation and shocking for the team, who very much wanted to see Jonathan get better." Sounds like a load of shit to me, but that's what happened. This poor guy. I'll show you a little. Here's a photo of him, and he's like, there's 3 photos of him in this article.
Mm-hmm.
In the one on the left, he's wearing a shirt that says Old Navy on it,
Mm-hmm.
and he's holding a little grocery store birthday cake,
Yeah.
and it says "Happy Birthday, Jonathan" in like yellow
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah. So you think he likes yellow?
I haven't had. Yeah, that's what I've inferred.
I don't know
Deborah.
why
His
it-
favorite color is yellow.
Okay. Are you about to tell
Yep.
me you haven't had a birthday
So
cake in
this
years?
this. Well,
Oh,
kind of.
woe was
No, but
me.
I have no, but I'm just saying, like, it's a cute thing for your parents to like write your name on your birthday cake,
Right.
which yes has never happened to me since I was like.
One time I got Mike tiramisu for his 30th birthday, and he was like, "Have I ever even said I like tiramisu?"
But I don't like tiramisu, so I don't understand what the problem is.
He acted like I was a racist. Like I just
I'm trying to make you better.
got him tiramisu because he's Italian. I didn't take. I'm not invested in his true interest.
Basically, Deborah, yeah. That's basically what happened.
Yeah. All right. This birthday, I'll get you a cake with your name on it.
You don't have to do that. But I'm just saying, it's like a sweet. It's like sweet, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Your birthday, you're a fucking cake with your name on it.
Yeah.
Just makes you feel bad for the guy. And then, yeah. So it's like, you know, the guy shot himself, and it's Jeff Bezos' fault. And fuck you. And I hope somebody pops you in the. No, just kidding. But you know what I mean, like, but
Amazon probably hears everything you're saying about him because you
Yeah.
got this Alexa in here.
Well, I don't care.
And
What are they
now-
gonna do?
I don't know. They're gonna track you. We
Um,
don't have any weapons, so Mike can't do anything.
Alexa, I would never kill
Oh my
anyone.
God.
But she didn't come on. But I guess the point that I'm making is that someday someone is gonna kill themselves in an
Mhm.
Amazon warehouse, and I don't know why.
Oh, it's only been suicide attempts.
It's only been attempts, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know why Jonathan Forrest didn't just blow his brains out in the ware. I mean, that would have been pretty cool. I mean, that's like a way
You
to
can't
go.
bring a gun in there. They take
Oh, that's
all
right.
your stuff when you come in.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They confiscate all your stuff.
And then they put
There was actually
a stepper on you so that they know how many steps you take.
and there was a lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court
Mm-hmm.
because there's like this big line to get in when you go into. I mean, I can't imagine having a company that's that big where there's like a giant line for you to get into work because they have to screen you and frisk you and confiscate all your personal belongings.
Right.
I mean, it's just so fucking like dehumanizing.
Can you imagine the interview process? They're like, and we like our workers to be the most efficient with
Yeah.
no distractions, and that's
Yeah.
why we keep all of your belongings
We want
safe
you to
while
shave
you
all-
are working.
We would like you to shave your head like Jeff Bezos if you don't mind. Do you think you could do that? Yeah.
Yeah, no. I
Um,
bet they spin every aspect of it. They're like, don't you want to work without the distraction? We're here to help. We take all your shit. We store it in
Yeah.
a box until it's time for you to leave.
yeah.
Then we threaten not to give it back if you don't work overtime.
Right. Exactly. Anyway, it's real sad. But if you can, if we can stop giving them our money,
Yeah. So
We'll see.
are we going to stop shopping at Whole Foods? I'm confused.
I would like to find a grocery store that we like that's not Whole Foods.
Okay. I
we
like
don't
that
even
one
shop.
on
We don't even
Malcolm
shop
X.
at Whole Foods that much. What's the one on Malcolm X? Oh, at the Halsey Market.
Yeah.
They're too pricey and their selection isn't that great.
Uh-huh.
Food Bazaar's okay.
Yeah.
I know you don't like it.
I don't, because sometimes it's like Macy's at Christmas.
Stop and Shop is okay,
Yeah.
but they don't have a lot of like quality. I don't know. Let's talk about this
Yeah.
after the.
I don't
after
like
the show.
Wegmans, though. I'm out on that. Every time
Why?
I go there, it's empty. There's nothing on
'Cause
the
they're
shelf.
a new store.
Well, they need to. I don't know. It's problematic. I like the Wegmans in Jersey. The one in Brooklyn, they can't keep up with the demand.
They're a brand new store.
All right, it's not that new.
I
but
like
fine. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but when's the last time you went there?
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna go have an argument now, folks. That's the show. Thanks for listening. Support us on Patreon if you can. Sitdownpod Patreon.com/sitdownpod, and then also Venmo me, Michael-Racine-2. That's my Venmo, baby. Thanks for listening. We'll see you around. Bye bye.